to Savita Tendul College, Lecture Cast in Prosthodontics. The topic is incomplete denture occlusion. In this presentation, we will be seeing what occlusion is, the types and schemes of occlusion, and what balanced, non-balanced, and lingualist occlusion is. So let's see what occlusion is. Occlusion refers to tooth contact. When you close your jaw, you can feel your upper and lower teeth contacting each other. That is occlusion. There is something called centric occlusion. When you loosen your jaw goes into centric relation. If you still feel your teeth touching each other, then that is called centric occlusion. There is something called maximal intercuspation, MIP, that refers to complete tooth contact. Meaning, if you close your jaw tightly, you can feel all your posterior teeth touching each other on both sides. This is called maximal intercuspation. So let's see what types of occlusion is present in dentate individuals. There is something called mutually protected occlusion. In mutually protected occlusion, the teeth posteriors all touch each other during centric occlusion. Whereas when the jaw is brought forward in protrusion, only the anteriors contact. And when the jaw is brought sideways, only the canines contact. This is mutually protected occlusion. Then there's group function. Suppose you move your jaw to the right side, your canines and posteriors touch in the right side, whereas in the left side there is no tooth contact. This is group function. And then there is balanced occlusion. Balanced occlusion is something very artificial. It is given only for complete dentures. It is not present in dentate individuals. So what is balanced occlusion? In very simple terms, balanced occlusion is the reverse of mutually protected occlusion. Suppose you bring your jaw forward. In balanced occlusion, the posterior teeth still touch. There is no posterior separation. We have a set of dentures here. This is maximal intercuspation, meaning that teeth all touch each other in centric relation. So when the dentures are brought forward in protrusion, there is still posterior tooth contact. And when the dentures are brought to both right and left sides, you can still observe posterior teeth contact. This is balanced occlusion. So why do we need to give balanced occlusion when it is not present in dentate individuals? The reason is Christensen's phenomenon. Christensen's phenomenon refers to the posterior teeth separation which occurs during protrusion. We bring our jaw forward, we can see there is a gap in the posteriors. There is no contact. So the dentures that we give are not going to be anchored by roots to bone. So when Christensen's phenomenon happen in dentures, the dentures simply fall down. So to prevent this, we make all the posterior teeth touch each other so that the denture does not fall down. And other reasons are stability, load sharing, and Shepard's statement. Shepard stated that when we put a piece of food between our dentures, there is going to be a gap between the posterior teeth. There is no balance. However, Brewer later noted that we tend to chew through our food. We just don't hold them with our dentures and keep it in place for hours together. And when we chew through the dentures, the teeth are going to touch each other and balance is still observed. So let's see the various concepts proposed by various people to achieve balanced occlusion. So there is Geisy's concept. He preferred the use of 33-degree anatomic teeth. Sears wanted occlusal trims. Plesher gave the Plesher curve. And French suggested various degrees of inclination, 5 degrees for premolars, 10 degrees for first molars and such. Fresh gave a 1-point contact of tooth. Hanau gave the principal Hanau squint, which is considered the gold standard 5 factors for balanced occlusion. The later 4 concepts, Trapezono, Boucher, Levens and Lotz, are simply a reiteration of Hanau's